This communication is easy for them. For most people, this does not happen. The attunement to higher consciousness audio is a solution to this problem. The attunements consist of 13 this world. Go to www.tybro.com, look under attunements, and get your copy today.
Healing Spells is a book that is applied to the art of healing. Healing is a powerful art that can help everyone. Each of these spells draws upon a healing reservoir within the soul and the body. This book contains angelic healing spells, divine healing spells, and healing spells from the gods. There are also spells in this book that amplify the healing power of the user. Go to www.tybro.com, look under books, and get your copy today.
Spiritus, the book of breathings. In the physical world, we have one breath, the breath of life. This breath empowers all the major functions in the body. The breath of the gods activates the latent power of your divinity. The breath of Isis rejuvenates the body and the soul. There are others. Your astrophysical and celestial forms have been designed to breathe these special energies. No one ever taught you how. We may vary the speed and timing, but the breath remains the same. Every god and goddess breathes differently. The unique breath of a god gives them their power. If you breathe long enough like a god, you gain some of their power. Go to www.tybro.com, look under special sales, and get your copy of Spiritus, the Book of Breathings, today. The healing vessel is a drinking container stamped with the seal of the Archangel Zythergen. Zythergen is the angel of healing and knowledge. His seal empowers great potential for healing the body. This healing seal cannot be removed from the vessel. This energy is a very good source of extra healing power for those in need. Get your healing vessel today at www.tybro.com today.
The miracle prayer is a combination of several advanced and ancient energies. It is an ancient prayer which some say encodes the 42-letter name of God. The miracle prayer has been electronically mixed with a lingering and beautiful mother rainstorm that lasted for several hours. The energy of the storm was in part captured in the recording. Go to www.tybro.com, look under audio downloads, and get your copy today.
Do you have a great idea for a radio show, but have no idea where to start? Or have you been hosting a podcast for a while and want to take it to the next level? If so, you need the Gab Radio Network. To host a show on the Gab Radio Network, all you need is your voice, and we'll handle the rest, from technical engineering to full-service audio production and much more. Every show on the Gab Radio Network can be heard on our station on the TuneIn Radio app. Plus, we put all of our shows on our satellite, which is accessed by over 5,500 stations. And here's the best part. You can host from anywhere you want. There are many means to connect to the Gab Radio Network remotely, and our staff of highly trained engineers and producers will make you sound like you're right here in studio. So, if you want to be on the Gab Radio Network, the same network that hosts the Small Business Advocate, Radio MD, and the Federalist, send an email right now to sales@gabradionetwork.com. That's sales@gabradionetwork.com.
The Mitch and Kathy Show is produced by the AM First Radio Network and distributed by Global American Broadcasting, the Gab Radio Network.
And now it's time for the Mitch and Kathy Show, a brand new show about thought, your thoughts, the thoughts of others, but most importantly, a fun show that makes you think. A show with things that make you go, So with no further ado, no delays, no tricks, just straight ahead real people on real radio. Here's the real Mitch and Kathy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
It is a brand new show. I wanted to do that eerie music, you know how they do in those scary movies,
Like,
because like that's like the Twilight Zone, but it has that organ music, and you're like, oh shoot.
yeah, maybe one day, Brandon, we can find some scary organ music or something. And just have that be our intro.
That'd be the intro on shows like today.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about attaching spirits, and a person can attach to you and still be living. Did you know that?
People don't even realize how much attaching spirits and ghosts affect your life. We got a great letter, and I think I'm going to start the show with that letter because I think it catches the spirit of what we're going to be talking about,
Okay, let's
quote
hear
unquote.
it.
Great afternoon. I don't have much time at work, and I'm super busy, but wanted to get my experience to you regarding attaching spirits to see if these are attaching spirits. I attempted to explain them a little at the conference, but let's get started. 8 years ago, I worked for an electrophysiologist as a device coordinator to open his device clinic, pacers, cardiac devices, etc. This was an established cardiac practice with over 500 patients. After 3 months of being there, I developed idiopathic reentry SVT-HR, which means that her heart rate just started running off by itself, going crazy, up to 200 beats a minute.
Mm.
The only reason I know because while at work, I put myself on a monitor. And this went on for months. I would have all the symptoms related: shortness of breath, dizziness, low blood pressure, etc. And it would last for 5 to 10 minutes. You can die with stuff like that.
Hmm.
People might not even ever know what caused it. And this would happen 4 or 5 days a week. I was scheduled for an ablation at Johns Hopkins by a top ablation specialist. Um, for some reason, she didn't have the ablation one day and got totally fed up. And she told her heart that she wasn't going to have the surgery and that she commanded it to beat properly because she knew that it knew how to.
Hmm.
Her mind was made up. I wasn't going to have the surgery, and the risk was too great. If it had failed, she needed a pacemaker. So when she talked to her heart, the symptoms went away.
Hmm.
And she didn't have this anymore after she left that place. Then she started working in a critical care open heart unit. And after the first day on the floor, the same symptoms came back.
Hmm.
This time she knew it was an attaching spirit from one of her patients. All of her patients have extreme cardiac issues. After the second time, she acknowledged it and commanded to go away, and it has not returned.
She's got some strong words of power.
So now when she goes to work, she has the angel of sanctification, the Solaris pendant, the solar ring, the divine mystical waters, higher consciousness, spiritual waters, the Feldraken bracelet. And when she gets home, she listens to the soul cleanse and the spirit attachment removal, has had no other problems.
That's awesome.
So she recognized that part of the reason people get cardiac issues is because spirits attach to them.
Hmm.
And a lot of I used to work in a cardiac unit when I was a medical student and a resident. And also when I was a psychiatrist, I used to do consults in there. Quite often, doctors don't know why people get the symptoms they do.
Hmm.
Sometimes when a person has a heart attack, they have perfectly clean arteries.
Would it show up on like an X-ray or anything?
Nothing shows up.
Hmm.
And they find that the arteries just spasm for no reason. And it can cause a person to have severe cardiac disease with clean arteries. And they can have heartbeats to go just out of control, go crazy. But when you do the test to find out where the problem's coming from, nothing shows up.
Many times the attaching spirits like to attach to the large organs in the body, and the heart would be one of those, the liver being another. So people who have liver and heart problems, it's probably a good chance it might be an attaching spirit that's causing it, especially if it comes out of nowhere.
When a person dies with heart disease, they carry the heart disease in their spirit energy. And I know this sounds funny coming from a medical doctor, but I've seen it too many times. I can't ignore it anymore. And people, when they come to us and have these illnesses, we clean them, they get better. So at some point, medicine is going to catch up to the fact that not all disease comes from a physical cause.
Hmm.
I think we're starting to see that. And this client that wrote in about this recognized that if she doesn't protect herself spiritually, working in these high intensity, high technology cardiac centers, she gets sick with the same symptoms her patients have.
Hmm.
She recognizes that.
And many times when people die and they have, say, they are alcoholics and they like to hang out at bars, and when if they have something like heart attack when they passed away or liver failure, then when they go to the bar and they attach to someone there, then that person will sometimes start getting those symptoms and eventually they're going to have those problems with their liver as well. So whatever the attaching spirit has when they pass away, that's going to be passed on to the person that they attach to. So a person could be totally healthy one day and happen to go into a bar or someplace and then get an attaching spirit, and next thing you know, they have heart problems, liver problems, or they just go crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I remember once I had a client. I'm just going to change the story so nobody recognize. But I've been out of medicine almost 15 years, so people aren't going to recognize this anyway. People forget what they had for lunch yesterday. Had a client whose father died, and her father was, let's say, promiscuous, to
Hmm.
put it that way. A few months after her father died, she found herself going out to bars and picking up guys. She had never done that before. And this was something that her father would do. He'd go out to bars and drink. He had divorced her mother some time ago, and he'd pick up ladies, sometimes even men, and just sleep with them.
Hmm.
And so she found herself doing the same thing that her father did. And then her father came to her in a dream and said, I'm doing this with you because I can't do it with anybody else. Then she came in to see me because she thought she was crazy. And I told her, then this was a lady who was in her early to mid 30s, not, old at all. But I told her about the concept of attaching spirits and how spirits, especially those spirits that are people that are close to you, can attach to you, especially attaching to your sexual organs when they can't get the gratification that they want in the next world. They'll get it through somebody that's close to them.
Hmm.
And so we did a removal right there,
Hmm.
and those urges stopped. Then her father came back to her in a dream and said, "Why'd you go to this guy? I was having a great time." She came back in. Those urges came back, and then I gave her something to protect herself from him, and then we put him in the astral world,
Hmm.
and they stopped altogether.
That's incredible.
It happened. It was incredible, but it happened. And there are some cases where people would make people do things that aren't nearly as pleasant as having sex. Some people made them want to kill themselves. Some people made them want to drink. Some people made them want to, beat their kids. I mean, it just, when spirits come back, they don't always have the most positive agendas.
Uh, well, they usually have selfish agendas.
Very selfish
So they
agendas.
want to continue on with the life that they had before they passed away, and they don't have enough energy on their own. They haven't built up enough energy, so they attach to a living person. Sometimes they attach to animals, and sometimes they attach to buildings. So you just have to be knowledgeable that attaching spirits are there and they do affect us. And in fact, probably 99, if not 100% of the people walking around have at least some kind of attaching spirit.
Horror movies wouldn't exist without the concept of attaching spirit. You would not have a movie about a spirit in a house unless the spirit was attached to the house or attached to a person in the house. The whole industry wouldn't exist. Billions of dollars would be lost if we didn't have horror movies and attaching spirits linked together.
I had a question that came in from one of our callers, and she is now doing a cleansing. And she wanted to know that when the cleansing works, the person who's attached to her, and she's pretty sure that it is someone that was a loved one, how do you prevent them from coming back? And where can you send them so that they will be able to go into the astral world and have a normal life?
You see, the difficulty with this question is when people pass, they're not given any direction about where to go and how to get there.
Hmm.
99% of the direction that people get, especially in our country, comes from church. And it says that if you're a good person, if you go and you go into church, Jesus will meet you on the other side and he will take you into heaven. If you're not such a great person, you didn't go to church, you're going to go to hell. The demon or the devil's going to come get you and take you down to hell. Well, what if, for a lot of people, especially people um, that didn't really have much of a spiritual life, what if neither one of those things happened?
Hmm.
There was a research study done by a number of people that looked at what happens in after death experience, near death experiences. And a lot of the near death experiences, people don't go anywhere.
Hmm.
They see scenes from their lives, they see scenes of beautiful places. Sometimes they see scenes of horrible places, but they don't go anywhere. When they get done with the vision, they come back to this planet, they come back to this world. So you have a question of, well, How does a person know where to go once they pass? And the answer is they don't. And so if you don't give them direction about where to go, guess what?
They're going to come back here.
They're going to come back to what they know.
Hmm.
They're going to come back to the people they know, the places they know, their job, their cars. And that's what you see over and over in stories about the paranormal. People coming back, taking pictures with family members, whether it be a child, an adult, an older person. People aren't giving any direction about where to go. And so they come back to what they know.
Hmm.
Now, how do you prevent them from coming back is the question.
Right. And I believe you're going to have to answer that in a few minutes because I think in about 30 seconds we'll have to take a commercial
We'll
break.
take a quick break and we'll be right back. You're live with the Mitch and Kathy Show. Today we're talking about attaching spirits. Call in number is 909 792 5222. Hey, join us if you have a question about attaching spirits and ghosts. You're live with Mitch and Kathy.
Do you have a great idea for a radio show but have no idea where to start? Or have you been hosting a podcast for a while and want to take it to the next level? If so, you need the Gab Radio Network. To host a show on the Gab Radio Network, all you need is your voice, and we'll handle the rest, from technical engineering to full-service audio production and much more. Every show on the Gab Radio Network can be heard on our station on the TuneIn Radio app. Plus, we put all of our shows on our satellite, which is accessed by over 5,500 stations. And here's the best part. You can host from anywhere you want. There are many means to connect to the Gab Radio Network remotely, and our staff of highly trained engineers and producers will make you sound like you're right here in studio. So, if you want to be on the Gab Radio Network, the same network that hosts the Small Business Advocate, Radio MD, and the Federalist, send an email right now to sales@gabradionetwork.com. That's sales@gabradionetwork.com.
Spiritus, the book of breathings. In the physical world, we have one breath, the breath of life. This breath empowers all the major functions in the body. The breath of the gods activates the latent power of your divinity. The breath of Isis rejuvenates the body and the soul. There are others. Your astrophysical and celestial forms have been designed to breathe these special energies. No one ever taught you how. We may vary the speed and timing, but the breath remains the same. Every god and goddess breathes differently. The unique breath of a god gives them their power. If you breathe long enough like a god, you gain some of their power. Go to www.tybro.com, look under special sales, and get your copy of Spiritus, the Book of Breathings, today. Some people have the innate ability to see higher worlds and commune with beings who have higher consciousness. This communication is easy for them. For most people, this does not happen. The attunement to higher consciousness audio is a solution to this problem. The attunements consist of 13 very specially crafted sounds. These sounds have never been heard on this world. Go to www.tybro.com, look under attunements, and get your copy today.
Healing Spells is a book that is applied to the art of healing. Healing is a powerful art that can help everyone. Each of these spells draws upon a healing reservoir within the soul and the body. This book contains angelic healing spells, divine healing spells, and healing spells from the gods. There are also spells in this book that amplify the healing power of the user. Go to www.tybro.com, look under books, and get your copy today.
Oh, he found it. You found the music, you bad boy. Thank you. I love that music. You're back with Mitch and Kathy live. We're talking about attaching spirits. If you want to call in, you have a question about spirits, 909 792 5222. TalkStream Live, you just want to listen, 701 801 4444. That was perfect, right, Brandon? Thank you
really
so much.
was. Thank you.
It really was. Thank you.
That's the music I was talking about. Before we left off the air, we had a question, and that question was, how do you prevent an attaching spirit of someone you love and you know who it is, but you don't want them to be on your body or within your house or getting on your children. You want him gone into the spiritual world and to move on with his journey. And for most people, the answer is that you have to align yourself with a high level deity, a high level angel, or a god, and you ask for their help, their assistance to intervene to get that spirit off of you and to take them into the spiritual world. And that's one of the reasons why when we train you on using your altars, we ask you to align yourselves with these beings because that's when they really can be of great help to you when it takes a lot more energy than we have as spiritual beings here to do something like that. It takes a high level being to be able to take that spirit who you love and don't want injured to take them off of you and into the spiritual world. And that's a difficult thing for most people, but that's one of the reasons why we have you send them money, we have you send them clothing and housing so that they know that they're going to be taken care of when they get to the other world, but you still need someone to guide them there. And that would be the answer to the
The
question.
portals that connects worlds, people are not familiar with them. There's a portal that connects this planet or this domain to a lower world. There's a portal that connects it to the higher worlds. There's a portal that connects it to worlds or that are parallel to ours. Except we are not taught anything about these portals. We're taught that they exist, but we're not taught how to find them. In this particular case, we happen to know the spirit and the person that is attached to the spirit, or the spirit has attached to. We know both. This person was a student of ours. This person was a follower in one of our uh, closed groups. This person I knew personally. And it's unfortunate the circumstances that this person died under. So, in my consciousness, in other realms of reality, um, I exist as a being by the name of Thoth. And in that form, I can guide this particular person away from the client that is calling in about this because without some sort of personal guidance, this spirit is not going to leave you. There's been a close relationship, a physical relationship where body fluids have been exchanged, and that makes the connection between the two of you extremely hard to break.
Hmm.
And it's going to take divine power on a high scale to cut the course between you. And so I will intervene in this situation. I'll go in, I'll get him out, and that way you and your children can have some peace. And I'll just take that on myself for you.
Awesome.
And that
Okay.
way this will be taken care of.
Hmm. Otherwise, it would be very difficult. It would be very
He's
difficult.
not going to leave.
He wouldn't budge.
He's not going to leave.
That is the truth. Okay, we have a caller. We're going to take our
Go right
caller
ahead.
calling in from Atlanta. Mr. Kair, hello.
Greetings, greetings. How y'all doing today, family?
We're
We're,
doing
we're
well. How
doing
are
well.
you?
How are you?
Oh, I'm blessed by the best. Been exercising today, feeling really good, feeling really good, feeling good, feeling
Thank,
great.
thank you for that deep dish pizza you gave us in Atlanta. It was awesome.
I hope it put you right to sleep. I was trying to
It,
put you to
how
sleep.
could
That's
it
what I was
not?
trying
That
to
pizza weighed 20 pounds.
do.
It was great, but that was one of the heaviest pizzas I've ever seen in my entire life.
I said he's going. I said he's a foodie like me. I said I gotta take care of him. He's a foodie like me. He like deep dish pizza. Say no more. But when they delivered it, I was like, "What's in here?" I only ordered 3 toppings. I was like, "Good gracious."
Yeah. Anyway,
Uh,
what's on your mind today, young man?
I saw that the subject was attaching spirits, and I had just thought back in my own personal experience, my own personal dealings, how I don't really know if I ever had like a really big problem with attaching spirits, but I have ran into a lot of people who have. Um, but I but I don't think that mine is that unique because I remember when I first started working with you, my problem was I was the one resisting the help, and I think that that's kind of like in the same category. Like it wasn't the attaching spirits coming in, but it was I think after I had started, or if I did have attaching spirits and I started releasing them and doing the work that was being assigned to me. I remember I came in one day and you said, "Hey, the help is trying to get to you, and you are the one in the way. Like you're blocking them, or like you're not allowing them to come through. And I was just curious about that, because like I said, I help people as well when they come to me, and I try to assist them with the right guidance. But what do we what do we tell a person, or like what causes a person to say, okay, I've recognized the attaching spirits, and then I've done the work, but then help is here, but then I'm resisting, or the person is resisting. What causes that? Why am I choosing that?
Why are you choosing to keep the attaching spirit, is what you're asking?
No, 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 no. Like the attaching spirit is gone, and like the help is coming. Like I've been trying to work with the God, but for me, it was like my aura was keeping away the help that was trying to come to me. It was like I was like kind of like doing it to myself. It wasn't necessarily like a spirit was doing it to me, but I wasn't
Right.
letting any extra light come in. And I was just like,
Okay.
instead of
Why
me just
would
saying,
you resist the help? Probably hadn't worked on your ego at that point.
mm,
You were getting all the credit for helping. So, if one of the first things you have to deal with when you're really getting into your spirituality is you're going to have to deal with your ego, and you're going to have to deal with yourself. And when you start being the person that everyone goes to for assistance, it can be very difficult to try and hand that over to one of the gods or one of the higher angels, and get their assistance to take care of the problem, because then the person would need you. You like the attention, you like being able to help the person. Uh, but what you didn't see at that time is that with the assistance of the gods, then that person's going to get the help, and that's where your humility kicks in. It doesn't
mm,
matter if you get the credit. The important thing is that the person gets the assistance that they need, and that's one of the first things people have to come face to face with is their human ego. That is one of the things that you try to get rid of as you're continuing to evolve with your higher consciousness is the human ego. You want to get more in touch with your divine ego, and that allows for the gods and the angels to be able to help you.
mm. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, thank you. Yes, you hit it on the head. I don't. That's that's it. I I have definitely had the Kanye. I got a big ego thing going on, but I realized that once I get out of my own way and stop being what I call a credit whore. That's like I want to take all the credit, but like they said back in the church, to God, giving what they say, giving honor to God, giving all the honor
Right.
to God. My
Mm-hmm.
life has, I really feel that I have turned a corner, and now that's me. I just point the way to God. That's really it. Instead of saying it wasn't me. If it's something that the person like disagrees with, that might be me. But if I did you a solid, then that was the God working through me. And I'm definitely since that time have been having a lot better experience in life, and I really appreciate y'all for it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have to take a quick break, but we appreciate you calling in, and I'm glad we were able to answer your question. Thank you, Kair, and we'll be right back.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
Some people have the innate ability to see higher worlds and commune with beings who have higher consciousness. This communication is easy for them. For most people, this does not happen. The attunement to higher consciousness audio is a solution to this problem. The attunements consist of 13 very specially crafted sounds. These sounds have never been heard on this world. Go to www.tybro.com, look under attunements, and get your copy today.
Healing Spells is a book that is applied to the art of healing. Healing is a powerful art that can help everyone. Each of these spells draws upon a healing reservoir within the soul and the body. This book contains angelic healing spells divine healing spells and healing spells from the gods. There are also spells in this book that amplify the healing power of the user. Go to www.tybro.com, look under books, and get your copy today.
The healing vessel is a drinking container stamped with the seal of the archangel Zythergen. Zythergen is the angel of healing and knowledge. His seal empowers great potential for healing the body. This healing seal cannot be removed from the vessel. This energy is a very good source of extra healing power for those in need. Get your healing vessel today at www.tybro.com today.
The miracle prayer is a combination of several advanced and ancient energies. It is an ancient prayer which some say encodes the 42-letter name of God. The miracle prayer has been electronically mixed with a lingering and beautiful mother rainstorm that lasted for several hours. The energy of the storm was in part captured in the recording. Go to www.tybro.com, look under audio downloads, and get your copy today.
Spiritus, the book of breathings. In the physical world, we have one breath, the breath of life. This breath empowers all the major functions in the body. The breath of the gods activates the latent power of your divinity. The breath of Isis rejuvenates the body and the soul. There are others. Your astrophysical and celestial forms have been designed to breathe these special energies. No one ever taught you how. We may vary the speed and timing, but the breath remains the same. Every god and goddess breathes differently. The unique breath of a god gives them their power. If you breathe long enough like a god, you gain some of their power. Go to www.tybro.com, look under special sales, and get your copy of Spiritus, the Book of Breathings, today.
We are back and we're going to continue on. We had a lot of people send us questions, which is great because we can read them and answer the questions. So I'm going to read our next question and see if you can help this gentleman out with the answer. Let's see. He starts off as best as he can describe it. He has.
I can't do anything for him. So just, he's out of line. I can't do anything.
Sorry, young man, not going to get it done. Okay, no. He has had horns sensation, like a sense of horns on his head for the last 7 years.
You're kidding, right?
No,
You're not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Okay.
This is a tingling and wave sensation where you would expect horns to be on an animal, for example. So wherever you see horns on an animal, that's where it's on his head, and that's what he's been feeling for the last 7 years. It's a long time. He also has, along with the tingling and wave sensation and movements on his left side of his face, along with numbness. He has no physical reasons for it and don't believe that this is a physical ailment, so to speak, as they get better or worse depending on various factors such as the building he's in or the people he's around. He's had shamanic healings and clearings and in the past, and a number of times he thought that he removed some spirit cords and entities, but it's still there. Is there anything that you can think of that can help him? What's going on? Also, he has, I guess, when he's in the morning time, not fully awake, there's blobs like insects or spiders moving around very rapidly around him.
You would
Doctor?
give me an easy one.
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
doctor, what do you think about that? Master,
Hmm.
can you help me?
This is an unusual case. And as I look at it, it brings in some unusual concepts that we hadn't really talked about much before. So let's just talk about them. Sometimes when a person's soul is born and into a body, the body and the soul are not completely born into the physical realm, which means that a person can be partially in one realm and partially in another realm while they're in a physical body.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular case, his body wasn't fully born into the physical world, neither was his soul. Where he was before He was, let's say, more of an entity that it would have horns and be comfortable having horns than he was a physical soul, a physical body. As a result, when he came into this world, he's half in and half out. He's not totally in one world and he's not totally gone from the afterlife world that he lived in.
Mm.
As a result, he's in two places at one time.
Is that why he gets the sensations that there's horns there, but they're not there?
And the bugs and the insects means that part of his consciousness is in the lower world and part of it is in the physical world. He's stuck.
He's stuck. And how do you get a person unstuck in the other world so that he feels whole here?
Well, the reason that he is stuck is because of some of the things that he did in his last life to make him be stuck.
Mm-hmm.
He has done some things that have caused him to suffer an unusual sentence, usually handed down by the gods, that his consciousness and his physical form are being tortured in the lower world, and his consciousness is being tortured by the knowledge of being stuck between worlds. So what would have to happen, and we don't do these types of consults anymore, is that he did something that would cause him to be stuck and to be given a sentence of suffering to this degree. To find out what he did, to find out why he did it, and so then he could be released from that suffering if he learned the nature of his crimes and the nature of why he was given the sentence of what he was given, then he could be released. My concern here is that they're not going to let him go so easy. When the gods give you a sentence like this, you did something, and they're going to make. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, but they're going to make you pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get off the hook so easy. So I think that in this particular case, we should leave this alone. He did something. The gods have given him a sentence, and even if he would have hurt himself and kill himself to try to escape from it, it would just make it worse because he would come back in the same situation. I think that having an altar, praying to the gods for forgiveness, you're going to need a high level God if you have any chance of having this go away to step in and work forgiveness for you. That may or may not happen, but that's as far as I'm willing to go with it.
What about the using of a giant? Would that help him if he repeated that every day?
If you repeated it enough, maybe.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Would a cleansing help in that at all?
It would have to be a level 3.
A level
He
three?
would need a number of level 3s. And even then, I'm probably not going to recommend that because this came from the gods.
Mm,
He did something. Don't know what it was. I'm not going to go look into it because he did something he's being punished for.
okay. Because he has a whole list of products that we have, and he was wondering, is there any of them that can help him?
He needs help from one of the higher level gods. The Jade Emperor could help him. Anubis could help him. This is something that probably Anubis would be able to help him more than any of them
Mm-hmm.
because whatever he did, he's being punished for it at a very high level.
Mm. Well, I hope that gives him some idea of what's going on with him. I mean, he's been suffering the last 7 years with this, and maybe it was just now that he was supposed to experience it because it's not a young person. So sometimes the sentence takes a while to come to you,
If
but
I were him, I would put a large statue of Anubis somewhere near or in his house. I would also make offerings to Anubis, and I would pretty much beg every day for him to help him get his soul either in the physical world or out of the condition of suffering.
mhm.
But that's where he is. He needs the help of a god like Anubis to even begin to deal with this.
Okay. I hope that answers this question. We have a couple of callers. We're going to go ahead and get to them. Calling in from California. Krishna, are you there?
I am here. Greetings, Master.
Hello. How are you doing?
I am doing fabulous. How are you two both?
Wonderful. How
Hi-
can we help you today?
So good to hear your voices, by the way. And thank you so much for everything you do for the Tiber family.
You're welcome. It's great to hear your voice too.
Master, the reason I'm calling, and it's the perfect call for me, I messaged you a couple of days ago regarding that dream I had, and I woke up um, screaming really loud, and it happened. I believe this is the second or third time instance it happened, and he kind of told me what was going on. But I was wondering if you can a little bit elaborate on why I'm waking up this way. Why am I screaming so loud when I'm waking up? And what can I do to improve the situation and the other lives that I'm battling this situation?
Well, what is your understanding of why you're doing this? Let's start with that.
Well, you had mentioned that I'm fighting my demons, but I can't seem to grasp what I'm fighting while I'm sleeping. And that's where I need your help to see what I can do to be a greater light while being in the physical form so I can have a peaceful sleep. And whatever is going on after I sleep in the other dimensions, in the other realms, how I can make it a little bit peaceful, and whatever I'm fighting, whatever the inner demons be, how I can overcome it and be a greater light.
Well, let's start with the basics. There are things things that you want to do in this dimension that this
Okay.
demon is feeding on. There are things that it wants you to look at, it wants you to see, and you're fighting it. You're not giving in to what it wants you to do. Does this
Mm,
make sense to you?
gotcha. Yeah.
So you got to sit down and talk with it. You've been feeding this thing for a long time, and now you want to cut it off.
Mhm.
It's not letting you cut it off.
Okay.
So that's the battle that you're facing. It's not letting you just cut it off.
So, question would be, how do I overcome it? Then I just have to face it
Well,
during
what is
meditation,
it that well, you know what it wants to feed on.
right?
Why did
And
you cut it off?
because it doesn't serve me anymore, masters. And whatever I cut off, I have been cut off those behaviors for over a year now. It's gonna be over a year. These behaviors have stopped. I cut because it doesn't serve me. I've served
How
the
long
greater
did you
light
indulge in the behaviors?
for a couple of years.
So for a couple of years you were feeding it.
Right.
Why?
Just I guess you can just say it was feeding it. I was unconscious of it, and I was feeding of it. The day became I aware of it that this doesn't serve me the greater purpose to it. I stopped, and I told myself this is not the behaviors, or this is not what I'm is supporting my growth. So I stopped those days, and it has been over a year now, and I don't feed it. This is not the old me.
You see, you've stopped on the conscious level, but you have not stopped on the unconscious level.
Gotcha.
At the unconscious level, you're still feeding it. You're still indulging this thing, and it's still feeding on you.
How do I stop that?
Well, one thing that might be helpful for you, because there are a number of people that we work with that have this sort of problem. We have a system called the unconscious mind cleansing system.
Okay.
And if I were you, I would start playing this in the background as I slept, because this is where the battle has gone on. You may have resisted it in your conscious mind, but the battle has just gone underground.
Hmm.
And so you need some help. It's an addiction that you're battling. And the addiction is fueled by a negative entity from a lower domain. That entity needs to be cleared from your unconscious mind. And that's what the unconscious cleansing system does. It helps clear out entities from your lower unconscious mind, from lower domains.
Some people have the innate ability to see higher worlds and commune with beings who have higher consciousness. This communication is easy for them. For most people, this does not happen. The attunement to higher consciousness audio is a solution to this problem. The attunements consist of 13 very specially crafted sounds. These sounds have never been heard on this world. Go to www.tybro.com, look under attunements, and get your copy today.
Healing Spells is a book that is applied to the art of healing. Healing is a powerful art that can help everyone. Each of these spells draws upon a healing reservoir within the soul and the body. This book contains angelic healing spells divine healing spells and healing spells from the gods. There are also spells in this book that amplify the healing power of the user. Go to www.tybro.com, look under books, and get your copy today.
Spiritus, the book of breathings. In the physical world, we have one breath, the breath of life. This breath empowers all the major functions in the body. The breath of the gods activates the latent power of your divinity. The breath of Isis rejuvenates the body and the soul. There are others. Your astrophysical and celestial forms have been designed to breathe these special energies. No one ever taught you how. We may vary the speed and timing, but the breath remains the same. Every god and goddess breathes differently. The unique breath of a god gives them their power. If you breathe long enough like a god, you gain some of their power. Go to www.tybro.com, look under special sales, and get your copy of Spiritus, the Book of Breathings, today. The healing vessel is a drinking container stamped with the seal of the Archangel Zythergen. Zythergen is the angel of healing and knowledge. His seal empowers great potential for healing the body. This healing seal cannot be removed from the vessel. This energy is a very good source of extra healing power for those in need. Get your healing vessel today at www.tybro.com today.
The miracle prayer is a combination of several advanced and ancient energies. It is an ancient prayer which some say encodes the 42-letter name of God. The miracle prayer has been electronically mixed with a lingering and beautiful mother rainstorm that lasted for several hours. The energy of the storm was in part captured in the recording. Go to www.tybro.com, look under audio downloads, and get your copy today.
We are back, and thank you so much for joining the Mitch and Kathy show. I hope, Krishna, you're still there.
Yeah, I'm still here. I wasn't sure if I got disconnected or if it was a break time for you guys.
It was break time.
Hung on. Well, thank you so much, Master, for answering that question. I do have some of the other power items that got from Hybro. Anything else you would recommend? Any cleansing of that nature?
Well,
or should I just stick with
the
unconscious?
new product that we have, the Unconscious Mind Cleansing System, very inexpensive. It's $99, and
Okay.
it's something you play in the background. I would suggest that you meditate with this, looking at it at least 1 hour per day, and then go to sleep and just leave it playing in the background on your television. And it
Got
will
it.
go
Yeah.
into your subconscious and help begin to remove these entities for you.
Okay.
This is what
Got
you
it.
need.
Roger
You've
that.
made pacts with these entities that has allowed them to feed on you, and you can't just easily dismiss them. That's why we created this for people that have the kind of addictive pacts with lower entities that can cause behaviors that you want to get rid of. We need help with that, and this will help you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I'm going to give this a shot, and I'm going to follow up with you in a few weeks, see how I'm doing.
Now, it's not a download, it's something you have to order,
Yeah.
but it's worth it.
Absolutely. I'll do that.
Okay?
Thank you so much,
Thank
Master.
you. Thank you.
Okay, before we take our last caller, we're going to read another one of these questions so we can get that done. The question is, can an attaching spirit attach to more than one person at a time? Also, her daughter is pregnant and would like to know the best protection for her and the baby. The AOS medallion is a little heavy for her. So if she has an attaching spirit, will it attach to the baby, and what could she do to clear
That's
the
a lot of questions. That's
Well,
not one question.
this is the kind of one questions that we
That's not
get.
one question. That's a whole bunch of questions. That's a whole console. So pick one of those questions and answer it for her.
I'll answer two. Can an attaching spirit attach to more than one person at a time? The answer is yes. If they have enough power, if they have garnered enough power while they're here on this domain, yes, they can. Secondly, also her daughter's pregnant. The best thing that she can get for her daughter that's not as heavy as AOS is the Demiurge medallion. The Demiurge medallion was created for protection. and Archangel Michael in the demiurge form is as best that you can get as far as protection, and as she can wear it, and it would protect her and the baby. So that answers her question. We're going to go ahead and take our caller calling in from Ohio, Sheila. Sheila, are you there?
Yes, greetings, greetings. So
Greetings.
honored to be
Greetings.
able to
How are
speak
you?
to you. I am doing well, thank you. First of all, I want to say I am so pleased and happy to finally get to bow before divine royalty. I was so elated when I met you at the conference at the seminar, and when I walked up to, I think I froze. I think time just stopped for me, and I had to regain my composure again. But I'm just honored and thankful to the gods to provide a way for me to be able to be in your presence. Um, what I would like to talk about is a friend. I guess I can say a friend. He had sent a picture to me, and I don't know why he picked me, but he sent a picture to me, and he wanted to know if I could help him with this attaching spirit. So I said, well, just send the picture. I don't know if I can help you. Maybe I can send it to somebody else, blah, blah. He sends the picture, and it's an image of him in a mirror. So he's facing the camera, but when you look at the image, his image in the mirror, you see it looks like a black neck brace. It's around his neck. I sent you a picture in your email so you can
Yeah,
see
the
it.
picture didn't come
And,
out in the email though.
oh, it didn't?
Did not.
Okay,
No.
okay. I can resend it. No, I sent it to Mother. Sorry, yeah. Um, but the when you enlarge it, there's a face there that you can see the face. So I said, well, there's nothing I can do to help you with this. Why are you picking me? I don't know this guy. I really don't know him. But I know that I had already been listening to your videos and buying different tools to protect myself prior to anything like this happening because I've had several experiences in the past with different types of beings and spirits, attaching to me, but they're gone. I'm thankful that they're gone. But the way it looked, it's like, and I asked him, well, what's wrong? What's going on? That you feel that this is the attachment spirit. He said a woman that he dated, he no longer dated, and he felt like she did something to him. So now when women look at him, they're repulsed of him, and he thinks that that's the cause of this black attaching spirit that's around his neck. And I just wanted to know your thoughts on it.
Well, that certainly could be the case. A lot of times we want to just say that, yeah, someone put a curse on me, or I feel that there's a strong presence there, and sometimes that's not the case. But it could very well be the case if he's repulsing women just by looking at them, then there's probably something going on there. He would need to probably have some kind of cleansing, and then he would definitely need to have protection, some kind of medallion that will protect him, like the AOS or the Demiurge medallion. But that's definitely something that he would need to do. You don't need to be dealing with that kind of stuff.
Oh no, I blocked him from all social media known to mankind. I just didn't want to have anything to do with that because I'm in a place in my life where I'm at peace and I don't have to
Hmm.
battle with all of those different types of energies and entities and succubi, whatever you want to call them, that I used to deal with. And I said, I don't know how I can help you. Um, he has an ego problem. He thinks that it's an angel. He went to some reader in the island. He's from Bermuda, and they told him that it wasn't an attaching spirit. They told him that it was an angel. And um, I know, Mother, you said angels do not attach themselves like that to anyone. Higher beings do not do that to anyone. So
Hmm.
I don't know if he would, even listen at this point. I don't have anything to do with him, but I was hoping you could see the picture to see the image. Maybe I'll send it again. Hopefully, Father, you can see it.
Well, it sounds like he has an attaching entity, and as Asaria said, he needs to get that entity removed. Further than that, we don't really do in-depth consults of that nature, but your analysis seems to be spot on. So you've already helped him by essentially saying what's going on. So I like your analysis.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking my question, and much blessings to you. Love you much. Thank you.
We thank you.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Want
Bye-bye.
to quickly mention the new product we just put out, the Unconscious Mind Cleansing System. For most people, they don't realize how large the unconscious is that we all have, and we just use a very small percent when we're talking about the conscious mind. But no one's ever really cleaned their unconscious mind. And if we always say everybody needs a cleansing at least once a year, you definitely need to cleanse your unconscious mind because that's the part of you that actually runs everything for you, and you don't have any control over it. But you can certainly clean out some negative energy that might have gotten through and possibly make your life a little bit better. So if you haven't seen it and you want to read about it, go onto the Tiber website and look under I think it's under audios. Is it under audios? Not
I
too
don't
sure.
know. I don't know where you put
I
it.
think I might have put it under audio. Look under audios, downloads, and see. I'm gonna have to change where that is actually on the site. And I think that you can find it, and it's called the Unconscious Mind Cleansing System.
Yeah, it's actually a video and it's not a download. So probably,
Yeah, we need to move it.
yeah,
I'll move it tonight.
yeah.
Yes, but you should actually use that system because that's many lifetimes of information stored in there.
Yeah, they can find it on new products. It'll be under the Unconscious Mind Cleansing System.
There you go.
That's a good place.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
thought
place.
I put it somewhere easy
Yeah,
to
that's a
find.
good place.
And that's me.
There you go.
Well, it's been a great talking about attaching spirits. Everyone gets them. You have to learn how to keep yourself clean. If you are a person who works with a lot of people, you definitely have to protect yourself from people's energies and their.
The healing vessel is a drinking container stamped with the seal of the Archangel Zytherdrin. Zytherdrin is the angel of knowledge. This healing seal cannot be removed from the vessel. This energy is a very good source of extra healing power for those in need. Get your healing vessel today at www.tybro.com today.
The miracle prayer is a combination of several advanced and ancient energies. It is an ancient prayer which some say encodes the 42-letter name of God. The miracle prayer has been electronically mixed with a lingering and beautiful mother rainstorm that lasted for several hours. The energy of the storm was in part captured in the recording. Go to www.tybro.com, look under audio downloads, and get your copy today.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.